All right. I just want to see some good DOA matches, really.
I am ready to go. I'm Dr. Dog here with Cat Mystic Gun.
Yes.
We are going to bring you some DOA5 action from GVN Summer Jam 6.
In Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Yes.
We're doing some button checks right now. We've got Empire Rabies going against the classic old school DOA fighter, Shade Swifteye. Shade will be using Kasumi. I believe Rabies is going to be using Elliot. As I mentioned earlier, if any of you guys have been following what I've been posting on Free Step Dodge and all of my articles on DOA.IGN.com, you will see that I have said Elliot is top tier. I haven't really elaborated on that at all, but essentially what makes Elliot top tier is his parry, which covers all high punches, all high kicks, all mid punches, all mid kicks.
A 9-frame jab.
Well, but his parry...
Oh, I know.
When it connects, okay, which essentially you just have to guess that they're not going to go low. Okay,
right.
So when his parry connects, he gets a free launch.
Right.
Okay. Then, as you mentioned, his 9-frame palm-type jab attack.
Right.
Very good at interrupting.
Right.
On top of that, his 3 free plus kick puts you in a critical stun, which essentially forces you to counter the mid-punch launcher that follows it.
Right.
Which gives him an opportunity to just do that free cancel into his launching throw. Or into his frame advantage throw to reset the situation. So Elliot is, among the DOA characters, probably one of the best, right there.
Well, and
with,
his mix-ups, too.
Yeah, and he's got tons of... Now, here we are on the...
What's the stage called?
Wow, I'm blanking on the stage name. This is the Sanctuary stage, excuse me. All that water, if you're a DOA player, you're going to know, that is the bad area. That water leads to a critical stun on normal hit.
And the partitions also lead to a sit-down stun if you get hit by those big torches that are available across all sorts of chairs and other maps and so on and so forth.
But in this map, they are torches, torch stands. So Rabies is going in nice parry there by Shade Swifteye. Now, what you're going to see here is obviously going to see lots of counters, but Rabies is going to want to start his offense and keep it going.
Well, he's using the water to his effect. You always want to do lows because that's not where they're guarding, and you're going to get that stun off the water.
Well, now, but the other thing is, at high-level play, at what point do you assume that the opponent knows you want to go low and just stops and go with the mid? For example, when I was playing earlier against... who was I playing? Wow, I'm blanking everybody. I apologize. But now there is that torch stun you were talking about. Shade Swifteye a little bit slow coming off that. That's why Rabies was able to counter there. Shade going in nice launch. Probably could have gotten a little more damage off that, but this is new. Not everybody has had a lot of time with the game, so you're not gonna see max damage juggles for the most part. But like I was saying earlier, I was playing against Alan Paris, and he actually read the fact that I was going to go low on this Sanctuary stage, which forced me to go mid.
Because of the water?
Exactly, because of the water. Because obviously once you're on the water, you want to take advantage of it.
Exactly.
So here we are. They're both pacing themselves. Rabies goes in. Elliot has a lot of priority when he's running at you. It's very difficult to interrupt Elliot's attacks if he's coming at you, unless he tries to go in with a run-up throw. Of course, you can beat that with an attack.
Right. Not to mention the offensive holds that he has and his parries.
Well, now, I don't know if Elliot has offensive holds in this build,
version?
because, they're not
okay, his
universal
hold string
anymore.
mix-ups then, like the punch-punch hold and those kind of things just really give him a well-balanced, hard way to predict what he's going to do.
Exactly.
And respond.
But now Shade is coming back here. Now, both characters have 9-frame attacks, so speed's not really going to be an issue with this match. There's a sit-down stun. It doesn't follow up with a guaranteed attack. Instead goes for that launching throw. That is near max damage there. Did not get the wall hit. That actually is advantage there, that guard break. Now,
there's that parry.
As Shade is in the corner here, what do you think he should be doing?
Well, he's using the parry, and he's just extremely offensive, so he needs to take advantage of Kasumi's aggressive quick style, and I think he's just scared. He doesn't want to be unsafe. He doesn't want to get parried, and what are you going to do when Elliot's in the same speed range now with Christy and Kasumi? And that's never been heard of besides people fast-paced like Christy and Kasumi.
And that's absolutely going to cause a lot of player trouble because Elliot has now become essentially Genfu with a 10-frame jab.
And he was trained by Genfu, so I like to see that he's even becoming better than the teacher at this point.
Exactly.
Because Genfu before was pretty broken, and a lot of people started to switch to him at the end of DOA4 because he was just so effective. And in a fighting game, sometimes it's easier to win with effective characters.
And it's interesting because we haven't confirmed Genfu in the game yet. We have seen him in the story mode trailer, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's confirmed for the game. There is a critical burst by Shade Swifteye interrupting my story, but we're going to run with it. We're in the scramble stage right now.
Yeah, I kind of favor this stage. The whole off-balance once the stuff starts flying everywhere definitely changes up with the whole gradient, kind of the way hills are worked and juggles and so on and so forth.
I have to actually say, Kat, this is my least favorite stage.
Is it?
And the reason being is because we've seen it so much. It was the only stage available in the alpha build. you know, it was the marquee stage because it's the one
Right.
that showed off the fighting entertainment, if you will.
Exactly.
You know, so I get the stage and I'm just like, hey, please make another stage.
It's like listening to lobby music over and over and over again.
Exactly. I don't need the elevator music. It's okay. But we've got Rabies pressuring Shade Swifteye at the wall. Let's see if he backs off. He does back off, probably afraid of that wake-up kick. Gets hit by it anyway. Shade tries to go on the offensive. You know, I really wish that Shade would just press the offense more.
But is it just me, or Elliot can just do that now? I played Elliot earlier, and the reason I kind of lost was because Dante's Elliot. You can just go so offensive, and he doesn't even seem to have to care or think.
Exactly, because anytime, first of all, Elliot's a relatively safe character in comparison to most other DOA characters.
Right.
That's the reason why you're not seeing a lot of throw punishment here by Shade Swifteye. But in addition to being relatively safe, if you attack him with any high or any mid, he can parry you.
Right.
A 0-frame parry that leads to a guaranteed damage.
Oh, well, that was a nice new feature of DOA5 right there as well, the cliffhangers, although we didn't see much of a hang there. But that still is one of the very few options stages, though. Like, the stages are like 2 stages that have that,
Yes,
I believe?
just this and Flow, which is the raft stage.
Oh, okay.
So it was hyped up early on as one of the big new features, and it is a really cool feature, but yeah, it's kind of limited in its use. It's not implemented in too many stages, just those 2. Trying to keep some variety, of course, and that there were some issues early on because people thought, oh, it's just a guessing game, it can't lead to that much damage.
Right.
So the fact that it's limited to only 2 stages is probably a good thing.
Well, getting to Elliot here and Rabies doing really well with him, it seems that, you know, I don't know, that's not his main from DOA4, right? Like, he didn't use Elliot.
He used quite a few characters. I know Lisa was one of his primary characters. I don't know how much he used Elliot, but of course, Elliot in DOA4 was not a god-tier character.
No, it was getting food.
Exactly, and now, you know, the student has become the teacher, if you will.
And he's grown out of his Justin Bieber looks, too. He's a mature
Exactly, now he looks like Celine Dion instead.
All right, well, that was great play by Rabies there. What can you tell me about that match that you think just really put him, obviously, because it was 3-1, I believe in that, and before that he did pretty well, and it kind of was, he doesn't seem to be stressing out too much.
Well, I mean, Rabies is the person that knocked me into loser's bracket, and the reason why I lost is simply because of Elliot's parry.
Oh, you lost to Rabies, huh?
I did, in fact, lose to Rabies,
oh,
yes.
God. Wait, after all the trash talk that happened and everything?
Yes. The only thing that I will say is it's very difficult to get around Elliot's
Oh, wait, you
parry.
don't have your main character.
I don't have my main character.
Right.
I do know how to get around Elliot's parry with my main character. Unfortunately, I can't share that information because I can't tell you who my main character is.
Oh,
but
okay.
leaving that aside,
Teaser.
yeah, little teaser. We'll wait for seasons meetings. I'll show you my main character. But maybe at the DOA launch party. But anyway, Elliot, right there, as you saw, that parry is what makes Elliot top tier. You have to have a way around a high punch, a high kick, a mid punch, or a mid kick. You have to have a solid low. You need threatening throws to force the Elliot player to stop using that parry. The whole thing is crushes aren't going to help you because if your crush is a higher mid, Elliot doesn't care. Elliot parries it. You know, Elliot is like the honey badger. Honey badger don't care. Elliot don't care.
Well, very nice stage effects there. Of course, he had a bounce, but didn't know what Elliot could do to finish that combo to get max damage.
Exactly. As we were saying earlier, you know, these players have only been playing the game for a couple of days.
Yep.
You know,
it's not out yet.
They have had a little more time than some people. You know, there are some builds and some rooms and stuff. You know.
Well, seeing how Elliot seems to be fairly balanced in a certain way that makes him really top tier, do you think that's going to be adjusted by the final build?
No. I can tell you right now, it's not adjusted in the final build. Elliot is still just as dangerous in the final build as he is in this build.
Well, obviously that information is extremely legit coming from the strategy guide writer himself.
That's right.
That you would know exactly what's going to be on release date.
And speaking about the strategy guide, just to interrupt the match real quick, I can confirm the strategy guide will be at least 304 pages.
Nice.
So
that's 304 pages of awesome information.
Who's it being published by?
Prima Games. So, and it actually has color-coded frame data in it as well.
I like that.
Yes.
I like that because you want to know what's safe, neutral, and unsafe because that's the best thing in a fighting game is guaranteed damage when you punish an unsafe move.
Exactly. But getting back to the match, because this isn't about me, this is about Rabies, EMP, and Shade Swifteye. Now, Shade knocked out Silent Legend. He knocked out Rikudo. Shade has been on a tear through the winner's bracket.
Right.
So he's having trouble against Rabies. I have to say it's because of Elliot. You know, I don't want to take anything away from Rabies. Rabies is a solid player.
Well, you might have to hold your tongue there because he just came back and it's now 2-2 between the two of these guys. So it's not like he's winning with ease like he was earlier. So maybe he's adapting. He's figuring out what Kasumi can do. But look at that relentlessness of Elliot. I don't know how to respond to that. I don't know how he can.
We absolutely right, Kat. Shade is adapting, but it's Elliot. You know, Kasumi in this game, in my opinion, is low tier. Yes, I said it, low tier. Flood my
All
Twitter.
the
I don't care.
ninjas, all the ninjas are low tier,
Whoa,
low mid,
whoa,
low mid,
whoa.
low mid.
Hayabusa's still
Low mid.
top
It's all
tier.
about grapplers, it seems like.
Hayabusa's still top tier, and Rabies
a
takes
grappler.
that.
He's a
he goes
grappler.
out. That's right. He technically is a
Exactly.
grappler now.
So grapplers are stronger now, and the ninjas suck.
Rabies is going to move on. He takes that set 3-0 to Shade Swifteye. You know, but Shade taking a really good fight. He should have pressured with more throws. That's really what you have to do, and you have to know exactly when.